for the presidential election on June 3rd, politicians are speeding up their moves to join the race. To take a look at how the rival parties are preparing and what's ahead, let's turn to our political correspondent, Shin Ha-young. Ha-young, the Democratic Party leader resigned from the chairmanship today. Of the party today. What does this mean?
You're right. Today, Democratic Party Chairman Lee Jae-myung, who is also widely seen as the likely DP candidate, stepped down from his position, hinting at his presidential bid. And this all comes as the political scene quickly shifted into early election mode following former President Yoon Suk-yeol's removal from office. And Lee, who lost to former President Yoon by a margin of 0.73 percentage points in the last presidential election, has not officially declared his candidacy, but plans to do so on Thursday. Take a listen.
I am grateful to have been able to serve as the party leader for 3 years and to have achieved some meaningful results. Things were tough in the beginning, but I'm leaving with the situation looking better than when I started. I will soon be starting a new chapter.
Politicians outside East faction within the DP are also preparing to enter the race. And among them, former DP lawmaker Kim Do-kan, who also served as Minister of Interior and Governor of Gyeongsang-namdo Province, was the first to announce his candidacy. And Kim Dong-yeon, the current governor of Gyeonggi-do Province, also formally declared his bid today before departing for Michigan in the U.S. to address tariff-related issues. And following his resignation, the DP quickly shifted into election mode, planning to launch an election committee as soon as possible. The party aims to select its presidential candidate by the end of this month. And primary rules and the election schedule are also expected to be finalized soon, with the candidate registration expected to start next week. And there's growing attention on how the primary will be run, as different factions within the party hold differing views. And in the last presidential election, the primary was based on the results of a party membership vote, given a 50% share, and public opinion polls also given a 50% share. And this time, however, politicians outside his faction are pushing for an open primary where the outcome is determined entirely by public voting.
And what about the People Power Party? Any updates?
Well, as for the People Power Party, there is no front runner like its rivals so far, and the primary is expected to have around 10 candidates or even more. And today, now former Labor Minister Kim Moon-soo, who resigned from his post yesterday, declared his candidacy. Let's take a listen.
I received a lot of support and encouragement from the public. I've decided to follow the will of the people. I'm committed to defending South Korea's identity as a free democracy and doing my part to help make the country even stronger.
PPP lawmaker An Chol-soo also declared his fourth run for presidency on Tuesday. And former PPP chair Han Dong-un said the formation of his camp will begin on Thursday, while Seoul Mayor Oh Se-un is planning to announce his candidacy on Sunday. And Daegu Mayor Hong Jun-pyo's supporters said his official announcement will be on 14th of April. And the party's election committee today decided to hold its national convention on May 3rd to choose its official presidential candidate. And candidate registration will take place next Monday for 2 days, and the first round contenders will be announced on April 16th. And with as many as 15 people expected to run, there is a lot of talk about how many rounds of cutoffs there will be and how many candidates make it through each time. And those details are set to be decided at tomorrow's meeting.
And with the election date now official, I hear the Election Commission today ensured a fair and transparent process.
You're right, Jungmin. National Election Commission Chief Do Tae-ak today stressed the importance of the 21st presidential election, saying the commission will make the voting and counting process more transparent to build public trust. Take a listen.
The National Election Commission takes this election seriously and is committed to ensuring a fair and impartial process. Despite the short timeline, we'll do all we can to prepare thoroughly so the will of the people is fully reflected in the outcome.
They also emphasized that election fraud is impossible, noting that over 300,000 clerks take part in the voting and counting process, and more than 100,000 observers monitor every step. And CCTV will record in real time the storage rooms for ballot boxes, and the footage will be shared. And ballot counting clerks will count the ballots with their hands in addition to the electronic counting.
Now let's shift our focus to the constitutional reform that has been making the headlines during the past couple of days here in the nation. I hear the Assembly Speaker today backtracked on the idea of holding a referendum on the election day. What's the story there?
Well, the calls for constitutional reform surface almost in every election in South Korea. But this time, National Assembly Speaker Woo Won-sik pushed for a nationwide referendum to take place alongside the upcoming election, emphasizing the need to strengthen the separation of powers to ensure popular sovereignty and national unity. However, on Wednesday, he withdrew his earlier proposal, saying that it has become virtually impossible under the current political turmoil, especially after acting President Han Duck-soo nominated 2 Constitutional Court justices to fill the bench. And instead, Woo suggested opening full-scale discussions on the revision after the presidential election.
All right, thanks, Hayoung. Keep us posted.
Thank you.